Hey MMT followers, Christina Fuges with MoldMaking Technology, and I am here interviewing the Eberle brothers of the 2024 MoldMaking Technology Leadtime Leader Award winner, Dynamic Tool Corporation. We talk about their mold-making journey and the family dynamic of the business, as well as their passion for problem solving, providing solutions, and leading growth.
You know, we've been working with each other our entire life. Right, we started off on a small family farm over in Horicon, Wisconsin.
Dad got up in the morning, and before he shuffled off to work, he had a construction job and ran a farm, and we were the employees.
Yeah. At a very young age, we learned how to work, and we learned how to play as well.
Yeah.
But
no, the hard work that definitely was something that. Dad believed in, Dad did, and Mom and Dad, and they, the work got done first, and then we were able to kind of go on and have a little fun too. But I think we actually enjoyed working as well. I mean, it wasn't always just horrible. It was fun.
I agree. I mean, we learned a lot through that process, though, because as we were on a small farm, the equipment was older. And I don't know if anything really worked very well, but we would always figure a way to make it work. And our dad was the best at it, right? He would come home and he'd show us something. And I think that's how we learned a lot of our troubleshooting capabilities that I think we carried on into the mold making industry as we move forward.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we'd take a stab at it during the day, and if we didn't get it figured out, then we were handed the light to hold for Dad to actually get it fixed.
On the farm too, we actually had. There wasn't a lot of profit on farming, right? And the five of us probably consumed a lot of food, so we raised crops and like fall type crops that we would sell, and through that process, we would sell pumpkins and potatoes and apples and whatever it would be, right? All the fall crops. But customers would come on and they'd buy, and we'd run out and, service the customer and help them find their way of what they wanted. And I think that might have been where we learned how to talk with people.
Transferable skills right there.
Yeah, right.
Well, Dad had a massive wood shop too. I mean, it wasn't just this little. It was a big chunk of machine shed that he had, and he would make crafts and things. I don't know when he found time to do that, but he did that and sold them in the fall as well. And we've been around just making things our entire lives. I mean, we just make stuff, and that's really, we both carried that into what we do today. We're always working on something, and then we always seem to find a project at home to work on too. It's just in our nature to make things. There's times, the biggest thing is just to have some respect, right, for each other. And I'm sure there's times you'd rather, rip my head off than look at me, but or the same,
same way,
right? But you never do that, right? There's always a level of respect, and.
Right.
And, the intentions are always good. It's just, you're going to have that. All the people here are very creative, and, you get those kind of minds together. There's a lot of ideas flying around all the time. And, and we're no different, and we do it all the time. And you just have to have a level of respect for each other when you might disagree on something, or you're tired of hearing someone just go on and on about something, but I mean, it happens, and the minute you stop respecting somebody, I mean, it's just bad for everybody.
I think in our younger years is probably a little harder, right? Because you're maybe a little bit more edgier back then, but kind of both trying to set our path forward. But it was never terrible, We'd always be kind of I'm a few years. Following Ken a little bit here, right? A few years younger, and he started in his apprenticeship before me, and I was kind of after him. So he was already a toolmaker when I started. So it allowed us to kind of cut our own path, right? But yet in the same industry, and I think that separation was just enough for us with being family. As we become more of a leader, we have to consider what people think, right? We are conscious of it, right? We don't really report to each other. We work together, right?
Yeah.
We have other family members here as well, and we make it so that they don't report to us. They report to someone else within the organization, and yeah, we are kind of harder on each other because our expectations of each other are high, right? And I want him to, Ken to have high expectations for me, and vice versa here. So
we really enjoy working, but I mean, yeah, we have hobbies. I mean, I play volleyball. Steve, you play volleyball. You do other.
You even do that together?
No, we play against each other. We always do that.
We beat them now.
No, that's actually pretty cool. Even having Lauren and Brian here. I mean, that's a pretty big deal. To have them work, with us.
And want to be here?
Yeah. I just really, I mean, that just makes me happy more than So that's kind of cool. But
I think you need to separate, work and your personal life. And even with the young talent that comes in that we're training, I tell them it's like be like a light switch. When you're at work, turn the switch on. When you leave work, shut it off.
I mean,
right?
I don't even know that when we see each other.
We don't talk about work.
Christmas I mean, we don't want to sit at the table and you see that part. We aren't.
No. But when you're at work and you're in the, in the environment, be at work, and when you're at home, be with your family. That's a word to the wise, I guess. Yeah, I would say that to anyone, because any career you pick, any pathway you go, separate it. Don't combine work and family life. You need the time for your mind to reset and get ready for the next day. And if you're constantly thinking about it because you can't separate from it, how do you expect to come in and perform the next day? You have to. And if you want a family when the years down the road, right? You need to be with your family.
What's going on now with Dynamic is just it's just really something to just go home and smile about every day. We're seeing some of the things that we've done over the years and trying to hone our skills, and all of the people that are working with us have been doing the same, and it's all coming together and it's working, and it's just a real exciting time to see that, and we're building this machine to facilitate that. And it continues to grow. It's almost like it's got a little mind of its own, and
it's getting a mind of its own.
Yeah, and
which is a good mind too, by the way.
Yeah.
But the path forward is exciting for me to see where it's going to go through the next 10 to 15 years right now, because we really are trying to set it up to carry on the knowledge, carry on our legacy, I guess, in the end, right? So our hope is that we get the foundation set solid enough that the next generation that comes in that's leading Dynamic can carry it on and follow the values that we're establishing and move it forward in that manner into the future.
Yeah, we got such a great group of young people going through. They're just hungry and thirsty for it, and it's good to see. And we drag them in, if we're going to have a prelim meeting or something. I mean, why are we wasting all these gray hairs and all these things that we've done all these years on the topics of the design and things like that? Those kids should be in there sitting there with us, and we didn't always have those opportunities when we were younger. Shops ran different.
Definitely a culture thing.
Yeah, and we wanted it. I think that's what really. I mean, we both have pushed pretty hard over the years to get in positions like that, and we see the same kind of efforts with these younger guys, and it's like, well, then open the door for them, and let them in. What is it? A half hour? Oh my God, you're gonna get 100 times over that half hour for what was just said in this meeting about when. It's just all right there. It just flows out of people's mouths that
Like
are
it's natural. coming out of your mouth naturally, but to them it's like, ooh, right?
Well, yeah,
I'm learning.
Well, all of a sudden they're starting to relate. Why are they doing certain things? I mean, a lot of these guys are on the floor learning the trade, and it starts to complete the thought, right? I'm not just drilling that water line because it's on the print. I'm drilling it because we actually moved that over just a little bit because it was a little bit too close to that ejector pin, and we talked about that in the prelim meeting. They just start connecting things, and it's a big deal,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it evolves too with the kids as they grow. I love training people and teaching them, and you can see when they all of a sudden they understand, that it's okay to question, the path. When you're in school, there's an answer, right or wrong. It's not quite the same here, right? There's many ways to do the exact same thing or get the same result, but the paths were very different. And once you see them, the mind switch over to, oh, I can do it this way because I'm really good at it doing this way. Yeah, I want you to do it that way. Even though I'm better this way, you get there at the same time, same results. That's a good thing. So it's exciting to see that happen with the young folks. So that's our goal, is just to keep training and pushing this technology and not the trade.